Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome to Needles at the Ready. I am Kevin.
And I am Ray, and we are here to say hey.
And this is our YouTube channel where we talk about knitting, crocheting, yarn dyeing, yarn buying, and all the fun things that go along with that.
Yippee yip.
Today is Sunday,
I know.
August 4th, 2024. And this is episode 117.
Welcome. Pull up a chair.
We hope you all are doing well and had a great 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. Thank you to any of our new subscribers. Welcome to the family. And all of you OGs, thanks for coming back. Fortnight after fortnight. The end.
The end. So, let's just jump into it. So,
Sure.
Let's go admin-y stuff.
Okay.
So we have, so last week or 2 weeks ago, we had a giveaway.
We sure did.
We received a very generous package from Ginger Snap, that of their yearly, wrong way.
S'mores
Sock set.
pack-up, sock set.
Wrong way again on my photos. So we asked you guys to comment with the word s'more down below in the last video, and we picked a winner, and that winner is Wallen Toe Ski Bee.
Wow.
Right?
Good job.
And the comment said, what about the crochet campfire softy toy to go with the cute s'more bag? It's called Campfire Cutie by Joel Deal on Ravelry. It's a free pattern. It'd look adorable in the bag too while in progress. Going to crochet for my grandson, who is a huge s'mores fan. Congratulations on your trunk show. So if this is you, congratulations. And please just shoot us an email. Our email, as well as anything we talk about, is down below in the more.
Look how cute. This is Pinterest. Oh, I have to sign up. I'm not going to do that. Campfire Cutie. Oh, he's adorable. He's a campfire. Or she. Ravelry.
So yeah, everything we talk about is linked down below.
Look
if there's
how
something missing,
cute.
just reach out to us.
There's the Campfire Cutie.
That is adorbs.
Adorable. Oh,
That's
wow.
super cute.
That is. That's a free pattern?
It is.
It's available for free. Probably from that website or something like
Yeah.
that. Well, we'll have the Ravelry link there
So
created for you.
Congratulations to the winner.
Yeah.
What else? Admin stuff. We also have our annual Let's Hear It for the Boys now going on. All the details are in our Ravelry group. There's a chatter thread and a FO thread, and the hashtag is NATRBoys2024 on Instagram. And that runs until fall.
Yeah. If you go through our Instagram post as well, you'll see the rules and stuff I listed there also on the Instagram, a couple of weeks ago. So if you don't have Ravelry accessible to you, but you can certainly find all the information out on Instagram.
And then the last admin thing is we will be heading out to the Pacific Northwest.
Woohoo.
We will be heading out to Seattle. Our flight leaves this Thursday.
I know.
To attend Flock Fiber Festival. And that Saturday, from 12 to 2 p.m., we will be doing like a little meet and greet at the Fiber Hustle booth with our friend Michael from the Piece for Piece Crafting channel. So if you are there and you'd like to say hi, swing by between those hours. They have some fun things. Aaron and Chip have been busting their behinds to dye yarn and sew up some chip baskets, as well as the sacks that he recently released. So we'll show a little bit of that later. And Aaron's been dyeing some beautiful yarn, so definitely check out your...
And they also have a really fun extra thing as well that you can purchase while we're there.
Two
extra fun things, yes, that we're really excited about. So you'll have to, if you're there, you'll have to definitely check out the Fiber Hustle booth. If you see us walking around too, feel free to say hi. You don't have to wait for the 12 to 2. But we thought it would be really cool and we're going to be helping them out a little bit from time to time at the booth as well. We're going to go and help them set up, break down, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing, all of these friends that we've been knitting with for 4 years on Zoom and got to see last October, or 2 years ago at Rhinebeck. So it's been a while since we've got to see a bunch of them. So it's going to be super fun.
So fun.
We're excited to be in the Pacific Northwest for the first time. It's actually the first time we're flying together.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an exciting adventure.
Sure will. It's a 6-hour flight.
Yeah.
Which is not too bad.
No.
But we go through, 2 different time zones.
3
different time zones. Our own. We start in ours.
Our own. And in
So we might have some jet lag. We'll see.
Yeah, so that should be fun. And
yeah.
then we'll do a quick little what we've been up to over the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yesterday was Raymond's birthday. So happy birthday, Raymond.
Thank you.
We had quite a busy day yesterday. That's why we're coming to you a day late. We had breakfast with our friend Bob, who was in from Seattle.
Great.
So we saw him yesterday morning. Followed that up with some haircuts to get all fresh. So clean and so clean. And then did some dog sitting for your brother and our sister-in-law.
Yep.
Then we went out and hung out with some friends yesterday evening for pizza and cake and chips and dip and all that fun stuff. Mm-hmm. And there was a tornado prior to us heading that way. We believe.
It was pretty bad yesterday. The storms here have been pretty bad. We've had quite a heat wave, and the humidity has been really, really high. So there's been a lot of storm activity. And I think, did we talk about it last time? Like, we got hit last time pretty bad. And then, on the way driving up to our friend's house yesterday, there were trees down on the highways. It was pretty bad. I'm seeing a lot of pictures. There was a lot of flooding. The police were, like, on the highway with flares because trees were, like, blocking the roads. It was pretty crazy.
It's not something that we typically get in Connecticut, tornadoes.
No, we do get a lot of thunderstorms, and sometimes they can be severe with, like, gusts of wind, but this was pretty substantial.
What else did we do? Oh, last weekend.
Last weekend was stunning.
Last weekend was fun. We went to Rhode Island.
Yep.
Our friends Max and Vincent from Lake Garson were doing kind of like a little East Coast thing, and they went to Boston, and then they made the trip to Skane. So we also headed down, or there, up to Skane, to sideways, to see them and hang out with all the fantastic people at Skane Yarn Shop, and had a lovely dinner with Max, Vincent, Lori, and her husband, Kevin, and Gail and Laura. And then the following morning, we went out to breakfast at Dante's, which we love now, and got some fantastic donuts from, I think it's called Need Donuts, which is like a couple...
Kneed.
Yeah, a couple doors down.
Yeah.
So that was just, as always, a fun time.
Yeah.
And even got us, even more excited for the trunk show that we'll be having at Skane in September. I think it's the 14th and 15th, if I'm not mistaken.
Something 14th and 15th. So we will be there on the 14th and the 15th. It's a Saturday and a Sunday. We're going to go up probably that Friday, spend the weekend. We'll have our trunk show. Hopefully we get a chance to meet you all. We'll start posting as we get closer so you can kind of have all of the details. If you've never been to Skane Yarn Shop, it's a wonderful environment. We've talked about this so many times. It's so welcoming to the community. They have an amazing community. We were able to give our friend Jen her prize. She was one of our winners, which is really exciting when it's somebody that we know.
Yeah, and we were able to hand deliver.
Yep. So we saw so many amazing people. Olivia came down. She's always lovely, and I'll talk more about her in a sec. She inspired me to do a project. We saw our friend Angie. We haven't seen, it was nice to see everybody. It's just nice to see everybody, and like to make these friends that we've seen, because we've been up there now a few times. I know. And I'm all like hovering over you.
I know.
It's very warm.
It's warm. It's very warm.
Yeah. So anyway, that was such a good trip.
Yeah.
Definitely check out that area if you are within driving distance or not.
For sure.
Just come on.
Or just fly in.
Yeah, just fly in.
What else for 2 weeks?
Let's see. My parents moved, so it kind of helped my mom as much as I could during that week prior. Bringing some things over, hanging blinds, which is always so much fun. But guess what? I did give my father his sweater.
Oh, yeah.
I was promised a picture. So I know so many of you have been asking, when are you giving your dad his sweater? If you do, can you please get a picture of it? I did talk to my mother. My dad put it on. It actually fits him very well. I'm really happy about that. He said he liked it and can't wait for like the cooler weather so he can start wearing it. But my mom did promise that she would get him to pose in the sweater, and I'll have a picture for everybody when I get that. So.
Speaking of pictures, we often get asked for more updates or pictures or videos of Skylar. So I did get a really beautiful picture of him. So this is Skylar, our budgie.
Yeah.
He's gorgeous.
You probably hear him now because he's very vocal this morning.
We've had him for just about a year now.
Yeah, it'll be a year in August. Oh, it is.
It is August. That's what I'm saying. I don't remember when exactly in August we got him.
It was early August.
Yeah.
It might be a year. No, because it was after my birthday.
It was before, because you were on vacation, and I said it would have made sense to get him while you were home on vacation instead of the weekend after. So it's definitely somewhere around this time.
Wow.
That we got him. And the first time we went to Skane was I think Lori said August 14th, and we had him already at that point.
Okay.
So I guess we've had him for a year now, probably.
Wow, that's exciting.
So yeah, that's Skylar.
Yeah, and he's a lot of fun. He spends the majority of his time outside of his cage. For those of you who don't know, he is a fully flighted budgie. So he has his little route that he likes to fly around, and he hangs out with us. He chatters, he talks, he says quite a few phrases now, which is really cute. He says hello, hi, Skylar, Sky,
good boy,
what you doing, good boy, pretty bird. It's really fun.
Yeah.
So
I think that's all the chit chat, right?
I think so.
Let's
that's enough.
Jump into some knitting. I have no FOs, but I do have, and I have 3 whips.
Okay, I have 2 FOs, and I think 4 whips.
All right, so you get started. This pocket annoys me. Just an FYI.
Why don't you put a pocket square on there? I think we have some knitted ones.
We do somewhere. All right, go ahead.
Okay. So if you remember in the last podcast, the people over at Blue Sky Fibers sent Kevin and I a really amazing care package because Kevin has been so obsessed with the Salish Salish hats by Blue Sky Fibers. And it's
do you want me to pull it up?
Yeah, do you mind? Do you have it with you? So they sent us a bunch of different yarns that we can mix and match and create some additional hats, as well as a printed pattern for the hat, which has been great. So you all have seen this before. I made my very first one, and I used 2 of the skeins of yarn that Blue Sky Fiber sent us that the pattern is written for.
Here's the pattern. It is the Salish cap by Mary Pernica for Blue Sky Fibers. It is a $3 pattern on Ravelry. It uses US 8s and 2 skeins of fingering held double.
Yeah, to create a really nice marled look. You can certainly do it solid too, but I think the marled look is where it's at, obviously.
Yes.
So I used Blue Sky Fibers in their Woolstock Light Fingering, which I believe is just 100% Peruvian wool. It's 100% fine Highland wool, sorry. They came in 50-gram balls, about 218 yards per gram. These are the 2 colors that I chose to put together. This bluish color, it's coming off more gray.
Yeah.
On the, I don't know if our lighting is a little bit
It is a
weird.
gray blue.
Yeah. But it's more blue in person.
Yes.
This one's coming out about the same. So anyway, this is called Morning Frost. And then
is it Marigold?
Ember Glow.
Oh.
So this is Ember Glow, and this is Morning Frost. I have, I didn't weigh these, but I have quite a bit left over. I could probably do another hat, or use the other different colors that they sent us to, do a combination.
Yeah, I would be interested to see, because in my experience, and I've only done it with superwash yarns, I've used about 35 grams of each bit of leftover yarn that I've used.
I did use US 8s. I actually did these on fixed circulars. I'm not sure.
Those are clovers.
They are? They worked fine. They're
I'm pretty
wood.
sure.
They have a green cord.
I think they're clover.
I don't see a...
Wait.
It just says the...
Yeah, I don't know.
Name. I don't know either.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
Okay. So, would you like to see the hat?
No, these are Haya.
Oh, Haya. So here's the hat. It's really cool. Like, such a simple pattern. It fits everybody, basically. It's all ribbing. It stretches.
God bless you for putting that on. It's too.
I know, but you know what the sacrifices we have to make for the viewers, you know. So I really like this. I like this color combination as well. Definitely very contrasty, but it creates a really cool. In person, you can see these like almost stripes that it has as well. You can fold the brim or you can wear it slouchy. I did a German twisted cast on. It's my cast on of choice for any kind of ribbing. So my socks and sometimes sweaters, depending on, unless it's a 1x1. I like the German twisted cast on. It is like extremely stretchy.
It's such a good hat pattern.
It's a great hat pattern. It's, you know, basically 2x2 rib the entire time. There's some really interesting decreases that happen. And it creates a really cool, really cool crown. If it's exceptionally well. The yarn feels very, very nice. I didn't soak this yet, but it's very squishy. It's very soft. And I don't know what else to say about it. It was a really quick knit. I cast this on the day we went up to Rhode Island, and I bound it off the day we came back. So it took me a day. And it was just like, you know, just going around in a circle.
I think this might be my yarn.
I'm sorry?
Doesn't that look like... So I'm just looking at the projects because...
That's really pretty.
Doesn't that... No, it's not mine, but could that be Iron Mountain? Doesn't it look like it
similar.
Could be?
That blue is a little bit
I was just looking
though.
At this one. It looks really similar to my colorway, Iron Mountain.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the pattern because it's, you know, super simple, one needle size. You can use your scraps. Again, 35 grams has been my experience with my tension and my gauge.
Yeah, I wish we had the...
I know, I don't think I have a scale.
The scale up here, but... I mean, it's definitely...
I was like, what the heck's that?
I probably used about 30 grams if I were to make a guess.
So yeah, just a really good hat pattern, and we've heard back from a lot of you all that you've been making it. You know, definitely for like charity hats. It's a good thing because it will fit the majority of people. So
yeah, I mean, I think it would be really, you know, a really great addition to, like you said, to charity or the homeless population. You know, those that take donations, things like that. You want to make something, you know, quick and easy with your leftovers. I think it's a great idea. And you don't have to change needles. It's super easy. The yarn, I think, would make a great sweater. Very warm, fluffy like sweater. The material. You were gonna sneeze. There we are. Just the one? No, impossible.
I know.
There you go. We're a gamble on the third. You've been doing two lately.
I know. Excuse me. Thank you.
So I highly recommend this yarn. I was very, very pleased with it. It didn't. I don't know what the plies are. It looks almost single ply.
I know.
But I think it just got a really like woolen spun.
I do think it's single ply.
You know, I don't know. I didn't have any splitting issues working with this yarn at all. So I highly, highly recommend. I'm not sure the price point of it.
I'm just going right now.
But I think it would make. I do think it would make a really nice garment. So, yeah. That is thing number one, to take the words out of Michael's mouth sometimes. I like how he always says that. So that is my FO number one. Here you go. Cute. All right, and then I can move on to my next one, which is the inspiration from Olivia. She has a podcast on YouTube as well called A Yarn Story? A Yarn Talk? What is Olivia's podcast name?
Go to YouTube.
Shoot. Olivia, I'm so sorry. I thought it was something like...
Yarn Stories
with Olivia, right? Something like that?
I believe so.
Anyway, she came up to Skane. I think it's Yarn Stories. Yeah, Yarn Stories with Olivia.
Okay, I'm just going to interrupt for a moment. So Woolstock Light is a single ply yarn. They're 50 gram skeins, and the price point is, it says find a stockist. So I don't think you can purchase it directly from them.
Okay.
But yes.
Yeah. So this is Yarn Stories with Olivia. She's wonderful. We'll have her podcast linked down below. She has over the years become a very dear friend of ours. And it's lovely to see her when we get a chance to see her. So we were able to sit and chat and knit with everybody over at Skane. So we were sitting at their large table, and Olivia was able to sit next to us, and we were chatting, and she told me about this really awesome, she told us a really cool story about the emotional support chickens and how some people didn't know about them. So she kind of, talking about how that was introduced. And then she heard about this positive potato, which is kind of along those lines. Very, very sweet. She showed me the pattern. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I think it's absolutely adorable. I'm going to pull it up in a sec. I can't multitask,
No.
I have some trouble there. I don't know where my good notes went to. Productivity? Down. No, I think I keep it in productivity. There we are. So I made the little positive potato. I think he's so adorable. I didn't give him a name yet, but here he is. It's a positive potato. The idea is, it's a potato with a face on it, and then they carry a little sign that says positive potato. I may be tiny. I may be a tiny potato, but I believe in you. Go do your thing. So you could put different signs on him or her and, decorate the potato if you wanted to. But I thought it was a really sweet little thing. It took me about an hour to do. Let me tell you about the pattern. It's just one of those really cute little things. So this is the positive potato by Munchie8175. You can find it on Ravelry. It is free. And so the pattern has you kind of knit some arms so that the potato is holding up the sign. I ended up not doing that because I felt like I'm not sure what I want to do with the sign yet. I kind of liked what I was playing around with was potentially doing like a sign around the potato's neck that you can swap out depending on what type of message that you want to have on it, to give yourself some like positive juju throughout the day. But it's a super easy crochet pattern. And I went through our stash. We had some Knit Picks Wool of the Andes, and I thought the color was perfect for like a russet potato.
Yeah.
This color is chestnut. This one's worsted weight. I used a 3.75 millimeter crochet hook or an F hook from our Clover Amour set. And it was so cute. I embroidered, I didn't have safety eyes, so I just embroidered the eyes and the smile. But isn't that cute?
Yeah.
What a cute little message, right? Like to have this like sitting on your desk. I like the idea of the interchangeable messages though. So all I did here was I just punched, you can see like this is just paper that I cut, and I just punched some holes there and threaded it through just to hold the sign. So I was gonna, like I said, play around with the idea of like a little necklace or something, but positive potato.
And we said if you decided to change the color, let's say you went with like a green, you could have an angry avocado.
Absolutely.
Or you could do a prickly pear.
Prickly pear, because the shape is similar.
Was that all we came up with?
I think so, that's enough.
Or a downer dragon fruit.
Oh. I love the idea. So Olivia's done 2 of these so far, and she's named both of them. Check out her podcast. She'll talk all about it and share her story of how that came to be. It was a really interesting story. So positive potato, free on Ravelry.
Nice.
Cute little project, easy project. It was nice to take a little bit of a break. I've got some larger things to show that I've been working on. So it was nice to take a little bit of a break.
Is that all the FOs?
Those are all of my FOs.
All right, so we're on to whips. And I have 3, you have 4?
Yes.
Okay.
Would you like me to kick us off?
Sure, why don't you do that?
All right. Let me this is a quick little, just nothing much to say about this, except This is in our Oh Wow Amsterdam bag, which is slowly becoming one of my favorites. I have 2 socks in here and something special. So this, I just put a couple of rows on this. So maybe I have five things that I put like a row or 2 on. I worked on this during like while we were getting our haircuts. This is just going to be a shop sample for Kevin's yarn. This is Needles at the Ready, 75-25, our
Achilles
sock base. 75-25, 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. The colorway is Violet Meadow. So it's very, very pretty with the purples, and I love the purple in here. I think I showed this last time. So I'm just gonna, this is just one of those, gonna be a shop sample when we're doing our trunk shows and things. While I'll be knitting on that, I'm not in a rush to finish that. So people can see like what it's like, or if they wanna put a couple of rows on it themselves, they can do that. And then the next thing is linked to our trip to Seattle. Like Kevin said, we saw all of our friends for the very first time 2 years ago.
Well, not all. The ones who can make it.
Yes,
from
the
our
ones
Thursday
that can make
night.
it. I'm sorry.
The ones from our Thursday night.
Yeah. 2 years ago. It was a magical time. I'm sure if you all remember, if you've been there and you watched some of our recaps, it was very emotional for us as well. It was it was lovely to see all of them. And Chip and Aaron brought gifts for the people who stayed in the house in Rhinebeck. And one of the gifts was a little prototype chipette basket along with a skein of yarn that Aaron dyed. And he had one for everybody, if you all remember. And so I thought it would be really cool, because I hadn't knit with it yet. I thought it would be really cool to start a project with that for our trip there. So my thought process was, it was given to us as a gift last time we were all together. And now that we're all together again, most of us are together again, I thought it would be really cool to have that project to work on. So I cast on a pair of socks. So here is the little chipette, which is absolutely adorable. Yep, that's how they came for everybody.
Yeah.
With the skein of yarn in there. The chipette is great. It's a very small bag, perfect for, obviously you can see a skein of yarn in there. It's got a snap. And this is, I don't know the name of this yarn, if he even came up with, like if this is something that he dyes, this was, 2 years ago, but I started a pair of socks. So it's an, I'm sure Aaron can let me know what yarn this is.
I think it's an 80-20 base.
Yeah,
but I don't think
it feels really good.
I don't know that there are names for it. I think it was just for the Rhinebeck house.
Yeah. But it's a beautiful color. So I started my sock on it, and I do my socks. So this is a longer cuff. I did a 2x2 rib for 20 rows. I did a German twisted cast on. I'm doing these on 9-inch circular needles. I have, I do 72 stitches, and then I knit the leg to probably around 7 inches or so total. And then I put in my heel, and then I'll do my foot. But I thought it would just be a cool project to knit on the plane, and then when we're all together or walking around the venue, would be kind of cool too. So that's living in here also from the last time that they were together. I met Fiber Hustle behind the barn. Remember those?
Cute, yes.
Yeah, cute. So that's it. Small little things that I did, but I think I like the story and the idea behind this. So this is also living in this bag for now. So I have the chipette and this other skein of yarn. So I've got 2 socks in here.
Nice.
Yeah. And I love these bags because there's a pocket. There's 2 pockets in there too. So I have in here, I have a tape measure from ours. If you saw us out in the wild, you may have one yourself. And the thread and maple little notions kit with the scissors and all of that. I like that it's magnetic.
Yeah.
So that's all kind of
very nice.
Yeah, in this little bag. Cute, right?
Here, I'm gonna go with this then. So here's something else that you, well, actually, let's take this out. That you will see if you are going to Seattle. This is the larger chip basket. So in here, I have a bunch of
I think
minis.
that's the extra large one, isn't it?
It could be. I'm not sure the exact size, but I do know that he's been making some of these baskets, and I have put some rows in on my granny stripe blanket.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing with this is, as you guys can see, with the exception of this, these are all minis that I've dyed, and I'm just putting them. Are you looking for your Le Garçon mini?
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't be in this bag. It would be in the other one.
Okay.
The one for the other blanket.
I don't know how we can lose yarn. We don't have much of it.
I know. So anyways, here is... So what I'm doing is all of these little minis that do color testing. Afterwards, I put them on a little bobbin and cake them up, throw them in there. And I decided to start a granny stripe blanket, and then I make a magic knot ball with however many I feel like putting together. And here we are so far.
Good.
Pull this out. So I'm just following a pattern that I found on a website. It is a 2-row repeat. The initial setup is 2 rows, and then so like rows 1 and 2 are the setup rows, and then 3 and 4 are what you repeat. I put this on for a progress keeper, and to know that this is on this side, I work row 3. So last time you guys saw it, I was here. So I got in, well, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like 10 rows.
That's great, Kev.
Made a little bit of progress on it.
It's so good.
Thanks. I do
It really is. These colors are stunning. This is really pretty.
I don't even
yellow.
know how to remake that one.
Oh.
Probably not, but I just tested some new yellow, so it may be similar to one of those. But yeah, it's just a really simple thing. I'm using a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook in E from the Clover Amour set, and it was a good way to practice the granny stripes or granny stitch, I guess, prior to starting the Jethro, since I don't have much crochet experience. But it's a simple pattern, and it actually goes pretty quick. I find that I can get into a flow with this, and I think I'm getting to the point where if I'm working on this, I can watch TV just a little bit.
I think it was a great idea to do the magic knot ball, because then this way you don't have all those ends either.
Yeah, it is. And then I don't have to worry about having leftover yarn in starting at the... I mean, I guess you could start in the middle of the row. I don't like doing that. Even with my knitting, I would really prefer attaching yarn at the start of a row.
Yeah.
So, but it does make it pretty convenient as long as you do the knot properly. So far, it hasn't come out. I have done the knot incorrectly before, and it's come undone. Not on this, actually on Roman's sweater that happened. But yeah, it's a nice little don't know what I want to work on project, and it will be long term, probably 12 years. So
I don't know. You've made a lot of progress, and the colors are really nice.
Thank you. It's nice. I mean, it's nice to work on, and that's why I picked it up, because I just dyed like 20 brand new minis.
Yeah, you did a lot.
And I was like, well, I need to get some in this blanket because I'm adding 20 more to that pile.
Yeah.
So that will be linked down below the website, because it is not on Ravelry from what I could find.
Okay. Good talk. All right, next.
And it's fingering weight, FYI. I'm using an 80-20 2-ply fingering weight minis for that.
All right. I made some more progress. I think I showed you all this last time. Maybe not. I don't know if I did.
I don't know, actually.
I think I might have talked about it, but maybe not.
No, you did not have it last time, because you got these last time, and you had cast it on after getting these.
Right. Okay, good point. So a few of you have also asked about the new Forte needles that I got at Skein. No, at Pick Up Every Stitch. And I finally was able to try them out. So I'll tell you all about it. I decided to pick up my Wild Horses again, which is a pattern by Knitspot, Bare Naked Wools. It is a very simple cardigan or pullover version. I opted for the cardigan version. And I was working on this quite a while ago. So I took a little bit of a break. I'm using Bare Naked wools that we got at Rhinebeck last year. So this is Bare Naked wools in their Better Breakfast fingering base. The color is milk and honey. It is 450 yards, about 115 grams per skein. It is fingering weight. It's 55% merino, 35% de-haired alpaca, and 10% nylon. It is a really, really soft base. I wanted something that was very simple and like everyday wear, but you can dress up or dress down. So I thought that just having a simple cardigan would be perfect for that. So just to recap, I finished the back panel quite a while ago, and this is the front of it. It is wrinkled because it's been living in my bag for quite a bit. The yarn is extremely soft, and what you eating?
I'm not eating anything.
The yarn is extremely soft. I love that milky, that honey and milk kind of colorway. That's picking up the color really well, like little golden undertones, yellowish undertones. The only changes that I did to this pattern so far was that I did a tubular cast on, a 1x1 tubular cast on for the ribbing, and I think it just adds to the adds another layer, like a high finish to the sweater. Here, I love how this yarn is knitting up. It's such a dream to work with. So I picked it up. I wanted to try out the Knit Picks Forte needles. So I had a little bit of a struggle, I'll be honest, in the very beginning. I was doing the tubular cast on. What I decided to do was to do both the front panels at the same time, just so that they're worked up evenly. In the pattern, it's very straightforward. You have the same number of stitches, you knit to a certain length, and then you start working on like the sleeve details and stuff. So I wanted everything to be the same length, and there's no increases or decreases at the start. So I cast on both at the same time, and I wanted to do the tubular cast on as well. So I was trying it, and I didn't feel like the yarn was flowing very well for me. I did blame the needles, not gonna lie. At first, I said, I don't think these are for me. I kind of threw a little bit of a temper tantrum.
You?
No, never me. I'm never very dramatic. So I packed up the needles, and I said, I'm gonna sell them. I don't like these at all.
I wish you guys could experience what I experience sometimes.
I texted Kate of the Knitting Posse. I said, these are not for me. She's like, basically like, okay, well, give it another try. Don't jump to conclusions. In the nicest Kate way that she could say.
I could feel the anger flowing off of him as he walked out of the room. And he was just like, I don't like those needles. I'm going to sell them. I was like, oh, okay. And I just let it be.
Then I had a moment of clarity and said, maybe I wasn't in the right mind space. When you're doing anything, when you're crafting anything, your emotions or frustrations or whatever. So I think what happened was I was kind of feeling rushed, because we were also and distracted. So we've been watching, we'll talk about it later, but we've been watching Supernatural, and I think like I was trying to do the tubular cast on at the same time as watching that, and then trying to manage my yarn, and it was not a good combination. So I cast on again the next morning with no distractions, and it worked out beautiful. And it's been smooth sailing ever since. I absolutely love these needles. I would love to knit everything that I own on these needles. So I fully retract my initial statement and my initial emotional outburst. And I will say that I am thumbs up to these Forte set. Okay?
Fantastic.
Great. So with that being said, let me show you what I have so far. So like I said, I cast on both the panels at the same time. So here they are. That's the back side. So here they are here. Let me put them a little bit closer together. Like I told you, I did the tubular cast on both sides, and everything matches up really nicely. I have to knit this to like 17 inches or something like that, 16 inches, I'm not sure. So I have a ways to go, and it does take a little bit longer because I'm working them both at the same time. But I think in the end, it's gonna just alleviate a lot of my stress of trying to like measure and making sure that they match. It's my first time knitting anything 2 at a time. It's been fine. The yarn can sometimes get like twisted on itself, so I'm still just trying to learn how to turn the bag or, you know, untwist different things.
Oh, and you're pulling from the outside, right?
I'm pulling from the outside. I probably would have been easier. No, I'm pulling from the outside. Yeah.
No, I was going to say it could have been like if you had pulled from the inside, you could have used like the cozies, or you could use your big Sur thing.
That's a great idea.
Right? Because then it has the 2 separate sides.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Oh, maybe I'll do that. Thanks, Kev. Good talk.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. So this is living in, well, I don't really, my Portland leather bag. They don't make these anymore, I don't think.
Nope.
But it's a great bag. I like this little bucket bag.
Yeah.
So that's really kind of where I'm at. It's just plain stockinette for a good long time. But I do have the back piece already done, and this is just going to be a nice, sophisticated, I think, looking sweater, especially with the color that I chose. Very neutral. Sorry, Carrie, but it's very neutral. I have some really nice pockets and buttons already picked out for this, and maybe some elbow pads. I think it's just going to like elevate that even more. So yeah, that's where I've been kind of picking this up here or there when I'm looking for plain stockinette.
Very nice.
Project. Yeah, so that's Wild Horses by Knit Spot.
All right, so this, not to beat a dead horse, is living in my Bink Waffle bag, and this was just what I cast on when we went up to Skane last weekend. And surprise, surprise, it is a Salish cap. Salish, rather. This is, and I'm also using some of the Woolstock Light that the lovely people over at Blue Sky Fibers sent over to us. So I'm using the colorways Cast Iron and Golden Meadow. So this very deep
really
gray
nice,
and this like chartreusey green. And I'm just here.
I like that.
Yeah, I love the way that this looks together. I'm knitting these on some fixed Addies. These are my favorite needle tips.
Mm-hmm.
So if I do have fixed needles for a hat, I do prefer using those. And I also do a German twisted cast on. Again, I follow Andrea Mowry's video when I learned how to do it. I don't have to reference that anymore. But again, just a simple pattern. Really great. Nice to have on the go. This one will be for me because it is a non-superwash yarn. We do not gift non-superwash items to people, so this way
as a general rule,
just so that they don't have to worry about the care for them.
Yeah.
So when we knit for other people, or we knit these hats to put in our like holiday hat bin, we always use a superwash yarn for them. So that one will be for me when it's done.
Yeah. One more thing I forgot to mention while I was on a sweater still. I'm knitting the 3rd size. The 3rd size is for a 44-inch chest. Mine is about 40 inches or so, 40, 41 sometimes, depending on what I've eaten a couple of days before. So I didn't want a huge amount of positive ease. I kind of wanted a little bit more fitted. So we'll see what happens.
All right, cool beans.
Okay. I think I have 2 more.
All right.
Do you have some
I have
things?
one more.
Okay. This one, I was really, really excited to cast on. We were so lucky enough, and again, congratulations to Michael for launching his Upland Fiber Co. yarn company. He had a trunk show yesterday at Pick Up Every Stitch. Hoping it was successful. I'm sure it was. He posted some videos and pictures of what the yarn looked like all out.
So this is Upland Fiber Co. on Instagram. So definitely check out his Instagram and his website.
Yep, and the website is live now. The last time we talked about it, it was not yet live. We gave you like a little sneak peek of what the yarn looked like. So he sent us a skein of the fingering weight core fingering weight yarn in the colorway Flock, which is beautiful. It's like an undyed, or it seems like it's undyed.
It is.
It's a beautiful, beautiful base. It is 50% American Cormo and 50% American Corriedale. It is their core fingering. It is all sourced and processed and everything here in the Northeast, which is a really cool story. It's about 390 yards per 100 grams. And so I wanted to cast something on, and I thought, I'm trying to figure out, because I definitely want a sweater's quantity. We talked about this last time. I was trying to figure out, do I want a sweater's quantity of the fingering or a sweater's quantity of the worsted? And I wanted to see how the yarn would look with cables, because I would love to do a cabled sweater. So I cast on a fingering weight cabled hat called Eno. It is a cabled beanie with a gathered top. It's by Jared Flood. And so here you are. So Kevin has knit one of these before, and I thought it would be a perfect pattern for this yarn. So I cast on. I will tell you, in the patterns, it's a great pattern so far, and it's actually a very easy cable. You're only cabling once, like every 4 rows or something like that, every 5 rows. So it's very easy. But the cast on, it's a tubular cast on, and it took me a while to do it. It was the most unique way that I've ever done a tubular cast on before. He does have all the written instructions, so it was very, very easy to follow. But it probably took me about a half an hour just to cast on and do the setup rows, to be honest.
I don't remember
It also, casting on, so I'm using the recommended needles. It's also, so it's using a US 1. US 1? For your ribbing and for your cast on? Let me just make sure I'm not lying to you. Yeah. US 1, 2¼ millimeters. So it's very small.
Yeah.
Very small needles. I think they're actually smaller. Yeah. But that being, and then it's knit on a US 5, the body of the hat. So here's what I have so far. I think it's really, really pretty. I don't have stitch stoppers on here to like expand it out. I don't know why I don't. So here's the cabled pattern. Very nice, very stretchy. Look how pretty.
I know, it's a really nice hat pattern. It's
really pretty. And this yarn, I think, does a great job with stitch definition, for sure. There's our tubular cast on. It actually, I think it is stunning. And doing it on the smaller needles, I think, makes a really big difference. I can't wait to see what this is going to be like after you soak it, when the yarn blooms, see if it blooms. But I really, once I put it on my head, it's going to stretch. Obviously, those stretch out, and you'll really be able to see those cables pop. And I'm really excited about it. The yarn is fantastic to work with. It's already extremely soft and bouncy.
You could feel that softness in the bounce and the skein.
Yep. And it translates very, very well to the actual hat as I'm knitting with it. Haven't had any issues with splitting. It's interesting though, because I think he describes this as a lightly worsted spun or a lightly woolen spun yarn.
Worsted.
I think it's a lightly worsted spun as well.
That's right there.
Oh, perfect. Which is really interesting because every once in a while you get these little like almost like fuzzies. If that, I probably can't even see. But it really adds a lot to the texture of the garment and like the softness of the project. I don't know. It's been really, really nice to work with. So I will tell you another thing that I got judged by he who shall not be named. The box that I purchased.
Oh.
Do y'all remember that box that I purchased from Pick Up Every Stitch from Thread and Maple? I've been using it. Yes, I have. And this has been sitting in the box. It's been really lovely.
Well, let's actually clarify that a little bit. Do you have your yarn running through the yarn guide of the box, or
yes.
you?
Yes, I do. with the top on. Thanks for paying attention to me. I really, it's really nice. I'm really glad that you've been listening to what I've been saying too, because it's been a great. My box is great. Okay. So yes, I have, and I will be happy to send you a picture, Kevin, so that you can have this to document. I will text it to you.
Text me, please.
Anyway, I don't know what else to say about this except it's stunning, and I'm very jealous that everybody was able to go out to that trunk show yesterday. We just couldn't make it work. We really wanted to.
Yeah, there was just too much on the
it was
schedule yesterday.
It was a lot. So
yes.
I user error. I cut the wrong end, I think, with this, or I started caking this up on the Swift in like a yarn cake, and I got it twisted somehow. So I just hand wove it into a ball, which actually helps in the box while the yarn is guided through the slots there. Okay, so Eno again by Jared Flood. Superb, chef's kiss.
Okay. All right, and my last one is living in my Portland leather coat bag. Guys, this is a story for you. So this is my Jethro, which needs to be done and packed by Wednesday, which it is not. But it's getting there. So, here's the story with this.
Here's a story of a lovely lady.
Finished putting it together. So I had done all my squares. I did the continuous join for my back panel. So that was 20 squares joined. And then I continued the continuous join, and I did left front panel and then right front panel. Each one of those was 8 squares. So I have a total of 36 squares. And I put it on, and it came to here.
It was a bralette.
It was really small. I could not wear it. So
he was ready to okay, I'm gonna pick up and do some granny stripes. It's like, well, maybe you should try it on first.
Yes. So I was going to start my hem.
Yeah.
By adding the granny stripes, very similar to the way that Ray did it, just because we wanted some additional length without having to do an extra square, because if our gauge was correct, the square should have been 5 inches. So we thought adding 5 inches would have been too much. So the idea of just adding some granny stripes at the bottom to give it some additional length without all that extra work too, because that would have been an additional 9 squares that we would have had to do in order to make that work. So I tried it on prior to doing that, and it came just below my chest. And that wasn't going to work as a sweater. So Ray had a good idea. I was going to do some additional squares, which is what I was trying to avoid. And realized in order for me to make that happen, I was going to have to do 4 to 8 additional squares on the front panels. I was going to have to 4 additional squares on the front panels. Then I was going to have to add 5 along the bottom, but then I was going to have to add an additional 2 rows to get the width properly.
And it was already put together in the way that it's constructed.
Right. In order to meet the same construction, I was going to have to do all this extra work. So what I ended up doing is taking it out and adding an additional round of granny stripe on each square. So I initially had 5 rounds of the granny square, and I added a 6th one to all of them.
Because you ended up measuring your gauge.
And it was at 4 inches instead of the 5.
Yeah.
And I also went back then and measured my gauge swatch. And when I measured it, it was 5 inches. And I'm thinking it wasn't fully dry. Mm. So when I remeasured it, it was at 4.5. So I should have gone up a crochet hook for this, at least 1 size, maybe even 2. But we are now here where it is.
Just be careful, that end is super close to pulling.
Yeah, it's just picking up stitches. There's nothing really on there. So here we are now.
It's really good.
So I've added the additional stripe. This is now very blue and yellow. I mean, it was very blue and yellow heavy, but the front only has 4 palettes.
The colors are so good.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm super happy with it.
Yeah.
It's very heavy on the yellow now. I actually really, really like it. It's one of my favorite colors in here are this very light blue, which looks white on screen, and the yellow.
Mm-hmm. This one's really pretty too.
The middle one?
Yeah.
It is. It's actually one of... I mean, I do like them all.
They're all
did
great.
add 3 new colors into some of these sequences. One of them is this really dark blue here. The other is this gray. And then on the back, I did 4 squares with this like sagey green on them. So I just did here, 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 and here. I added that. And I've done the bottom ribbing.
This looks so
did
nice
my granny
together.
stripes. So the 5 colors of my granny stripes are the original 5 colors that I chose. And then I did just about 2¼ to 2½ inches of a 1x1 rib.
Mm-hmm.
And I finished that off with an Italian tubular bind off.
Yeah.
Or a sewn bind off. It goes by both, which is my favorite way to bind off a 1x1 rib.
Same. You know what I really love? Your squares look so neat. Like,
Thanks.
Everything looks just so neat. And I think having that 6th row, it like everything looks so like tight and very like very, very good.
I think that's why I had to. I
definitely on a smaller gauge. I think it looks good on a smaller gauge. To be honest.
I love the way that these look. I agree. I think that the squares look very clean.
They do.
You know, and pretty uniform.
Yep.
I could tell the difference of my crocheting with this yarn, which is the cot linen from Knit Picks. Mm-hmm. It is, I think, isn't it like 55?
No, it's
60/40.
It may be closest or 30.
Let me see. I don't know if I have any of the tags with me. Oh, I do.
Okay.
It is
70/30.
So
70% cotton, 30% linen.
Thank you. I did find it was a little bit harder for me to crochet this than to crochet the blanket, for example. And I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that they're actually using the same crochet hook. So this is a DK weight using the same size crochet hook that I was using for the fingering weight. Mm-hmm. So I probably...
It's tighter for sure.
It's tighter.
Plus it's cotton, so there's a lot less like give.
Yes.
You know?
And I have been weaving in a good portion of my ends. There are some.
Yeah.
But I would say I am definitely way more than half of my ends are woven in.
That's great.
So I'll see if I could try to put this on. I don't know if I can. Just to see the fit.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm getting caught in ends, I think. So here's the fit so far.
Yeah,
I just have to finish picking this up, do about 2 to 2½ inches of ribbing for the sleeves. I actually
I like them too. I'm wondering if you could do something like Carrie did and do a crochet, you know, like the double crochet and then one round of single crochet.
Yeah, on the sleeves. So I gotta power through this today and tomorrow. Like by tomorrow, I kind of have to have this done. I feel like in order to wash and block it and
I gotta do the ends
dry it. So that is my Jethro. I haven't shown the pattern.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay.
I could have done that. I should have.
It is by Tanis Lavalley, and it is meant to be a long sleeve sweater. And it's supposed to. So then you would knit the sleeves, and I'm knitting the button band, which I'm not going to add buttons, and the ribbing. So it's a really fun way to incorporate crochet and knitting into the same project.
I do like how the 2x2 ribbing looks as well.
Yeah, and I would be really interested to feel this in a wool and not cotton and linen. Right. Like to see it, you know, the drape difference, the weight of it, because this is going to be quite heavy because of the cotton and linen, I think I've gone through, this is the main color called Wallaby. I would have used almost 4 of these and about 1.5 skeins of every other color. So 5, I mean, you're looking at, oh, these are 50 grams though.
Yeah,
so this, I used 200 grams just of the main color. And then another 2, 4, like, I'm probably somewhere around like 700 grams of yarn. That's way more than I would use on a regular sweater or with like a wool.
Yeah.
So it does use quite a bit.
Well, crocheting definitely takes up a lot,
fabric.
uses a lot more yarn too.
It has been nice. It's, you know, there's definitely been some complications. It was a good way to get an introduction into granny squares, I thought.
Yeah.
Since I had never done one prior to doing the swatch. And I think adding the knit element is really cool to it. So Carrie, our friend Carrie, who will be at Flock as well, helping out in the Fiber Hustle booth, who has a podcast here called The Creative Obsession. She just had an episode and showed hers.
Yeah.
Hers is beautiful.
It is.
And the 3 of us will hopefully be able to wear it on Saturday.
Yeah.
At Flock.
Lovely.
So that's everything that I've worked on. I've actually, there have been quite a number of days where I haven't crafted at all over the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But
you need
I've
a little
made
bit
some
of a break.
progress. I really focus on that.
I mean, it's when you have to take something apart like that, but I think it was the good call. I think it was a really good call. Definitely worth it. You know, you put in all that time.
Yeah.
So.
And it was super quick to do that extra row on all of them. I think I did like 20 in a day.
Wow. Yeah, you did a lot. But it looks stunning. Okay, the last thing is I made significant progress on. This was my main focus for the majority of the past couple of weeks. So I picked up my Sean's Gambier again. This is going to be, this is the Sean, let me just zoom in a little bit. This is by Lindsay Inoue. It is a bulky, super bulky jacket / cardigan. Color work, beautiful. This will be our Rhinebeck sweater. We're doing matching sweaters with pretty much everybody in the house that we got. So there's like 7 of us in the house. It's very, very heavy. I am using Lamb's Pride. Did I say Lion's Pride?
Yes.
Lamb's Pride bulky in 3 different colors. So sable is my main color. This is sable. This one is oatmeal, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I have a blue, which I can't remember the name of it.
Glacier?
Glacier. You are absolutely right. And then this is Glacier. So these are my 3 colors, and I'll show you what I've done. So I finished the body up to the sleeves. I knit both sleeves, and I joined them together. What? I sure did. So here, jeez Louise. Here is the...
Do you want to take this sleeve?
Yeah, maybe. Here is what I have so far. It's very difficult to show.
Yeah.
This is the front of the cardigan. There are pockets in here. I did all of the color work. Oh my gosh. Do you think I could put this on? Probably not.
No. I wouldn't even attempt it because you don't have the hold of your shoulders.
Yeah.
You know?
So I was probably... I don't know. Maybe here.
Yeah.
So I finished this section on the front, on the cardigan. I knit both of the sleeves. Here they are here. The sleeves are knit in the round. The rest of the sweater is knit flat. And then I joined them. So now I'm at the part on the top of my shoulders. There's some color work that happens here. And then a lot of shaping that takes place. It's very difficult to show, but you get an idea.
This looks super wide.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a jacket. I would say it's more jackety than sweatery.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But that's a lot of...
It is. It's a lot of fabric. But it's going to be worn over clothes. I'm treating it like a jacket. Yeah. I'm knitting I think it's the second size. It is the second size for 46-inch chest. So once this block, I think it looks really nice together.
Yeah, I feel like the color work looks good together. I don't. It doesn't look like you have any puckering. It looks pretty even.
Yeah.
Especially
I tried really, really hard.
I was going to say, especially here.
Yeah.
Like, it's a little hard to see on the sleeves because they're still in that small circumference. But here, I don't think you have.
Yeah, I tried to do it really loose.
Yeah.
It's my first time doing color work flat. It's not been a problem for me. I knit continental style and English style when I'm doing color work. So I knit with my with one color on my right hand and one color on my left hand. So the purl stitch was took me a little bit, but I finally got the continental purl down. So that's what I was using, and then for a bunch of rows, you're doing 3 colors at once. So I just took my time. I dropped the colors. I made sure that I was carrying them. A lot of you had suggested using ladder back jacquard as a way to manage the floats. I didn't, because this is such a bulky garment, I didn't necessarily want that extra fabric. So with ladder back jacquard, you end up getting like another sheet of fabric basically. And I thought it would be just a little bit much. So I just carried my floats. I tried to do it as evenly as possible. So here's the inside. So I just, there are a couple of longer floats, but with this yarn, it's really easy to felt in. So once I block it and I start wearing it, like all of these ends are going to felt to themselves.
Yeah. And
it's not going to be a problem. But you can see my floats on the inside there.
Nice.
So yeah, it's just it's heavy, and it's a lot on my lap when trying to do this. But
and I would think at this point too, now that it's all together, it's got to be a lot on the hands and the wrists too, having all that weight on the needles.
Yeah. But it's good. So nice. I'm really happy with this. I will definitely have this done by Rhinebeck.
Yeah.
I just can't wait until I get to give this a big bath. Let the stitches all bloom and fall into place. And then it's just going to be a nice oversized, heavy jacket.
Yeah.
Like a knitted jacket, which I think would be really nice.
All right.
And that's the end of...
That's all of our...
works in progress.
Things that we've worked on over the past 2 weeks. So now we're going to jump into Owl Post and Breaking the Bank.
Okay.
Owl Post, do I only have it?
I have one too.
Okay.
Because I don't think we showed this.
No, we did not.
And this was really nice. So this was from a friend of the podcast. Sent us some of my favorite needle stoppers. So they sent over a set of foxes for Kevin. Cute. And then for me, I got some cute little nursing related ones.
I should put these on.
Which I hadn't seen yet. Hold on, I'm sorry. It's in a little plastic baggie. And so these are the nursing ones. So you get a scrub top with the heart and then a stethoscope with some flowers. Super cute. You know who you are. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank
really
you.
Appreciate it. So that was one.
And then the other one, we got this nice little package from across the pond.
Across the pond.
And it had a plethora of stuff in here. So we got some Yorkshire mixtures, and this is fruit, aniseed, and peppermint flavored sweets. Some Yorkshire tea biscuit brew. Oh my gosh, well, we were showing it. I could have had one today because I do love a tea. Then some of this World of Wool proper yarn, which is Shetland and Blueface Leicester. It's
really nice.
So there are 4 different colors in here.
Really pretty. 100% British wool. This is Kraken Flags Gray. This one is Barn Pot Purple. which is cute.
This one is
Eye Up Blue.
Eye Up Blue and
Audu Blue.
Good job.
I don't know where the names are coming from, but how fun.
And then it also came with this book from Yarndale 2023.
Some cute little patterns and
info in there.
Info.
Some favorite Yorkshire recipe book. Some
pins and stitch markers. You guys are so generous.
Knitting and Gin. UFO.
I love it. You gotta keep the things up a little bit longer. Remember, you got that feedback? Because you're really quick. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Good job. And then this, the Croft Shetland Tweed, which I've done. I did a hat with this. I did. Oh, sugar. And I have a skein still. What did I do? Oh, I did Hohi's Rafa hat out of it. So this pattern book. So, I think that was all that was. That was everything that was.
Yeah, there's a couple of postcards and stuff in there.
Oh. Yes. So, thank you very much again. I don't like saying.
I know I don't like saying people's names without asking, but you know who you are.
Yes. So thank you very much. It was very generous and fun to receive that. It's fun to receive stuff from that we don't have here.
Yeah. None of this is available to us, obviously. Can't wait to eat some candy.
And
probably
then
the last thing that I need to eat.
Now we have some Break in the Bank.
Well, we've
been very light on that.
I have some personal owl posts from my birthday that my husband got for me. First off, I wanted to show this card because this is like the coolest card. It's the Marauders map that opens up. Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you thought it was neat since you bought it for me.
Yes.
But I thought this is a really cool card. I also got another Lego set. This one is pretty epic. This is Buckbeak. What? So I will be I'll be working on him at some point.
Fun.
So cool. And then I also got a gift certificate to Hudson and West, who is having a 25% off sale until the 7th, I think.
I believe it's the 7th.
Of August.
Yep.
Of everything in their shop. So go check out Hudson and West. But Kevin got me a gift certificate. I ended up buying a sweater's quantity of yarn and pattern. I am going to be doing the 7 sweater, which is a little intimidating because it's all over cables. It's a worsted weight pattern. I've seen this out in the wild as well as on like Instagram, and I have been dying to make it. Every time we've seen Hudson and West,
we saw it.
It's by Megan Babin, by the way. She's a stunning designer.
We saw it 2 years ago at Vogue in New York.
Look at
at their booth when Ray was talking to her, and
I didn't know.
He didn't know it was her.
Like, oh, have you ever heard of this designer? She's wonderful. She's like, yeah, that's me. She didn't really say it like that, but then so I ended up getting Hudson and West Forge in the color. I wonder if I can pull it up. I'm going to show you when it comes. I'll show you when it comes. But I got a sweater's quantity in like, I think it was kind of a bourbon color. I think it's called bourbon.
Okay, like a golden.
Like a whiskey color.
Yeah. So if you've ever wanted to try Hudson and West yarn, we've knit with it for hats in the past. Yeah. It is a beautiful base. I believe there's 2 forge and weld, like fingering in a worsted.
It's definitely a treat yourself kind of yarn. So,
but it's 25% off right now on their website. So even if it's not a sweater's quantity, if you just wanted to try a skein or 2, now would be a really good time to head over there and make a purchase from that.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about that. So that was some owl posts to me personally for my birthday.
Nice.
Thanks.
And then Break in the Bank. I've only made 1 purchase of 3 items that were small. Did you make any?
No. Yes. I already showed them, but I didn't point out that they were from...
Oh.
there.
So
I did very well.
We both did. We did not buy a skein of yarn at Skein Yarn Shop. I purchased, because I have been wanting these for a while and I haven't found them anywhere in person. So when we were there, Skein does carry the Pacific Knit Co. doodle decks. So these come with, I have these two first, we'll say. These are like their, I want to say starter decks. And each one comes with 51 colorwork chart patterns and 2 cal patterns. And you just kind of get to mix and match and design your own cal using their charts. So I got the basic doodle deck, which just has a bunch of really basic colorwork motifs.
So you can shuffle the deck and pull out a card and say, this is the section of colorwork that I'm going to do next.
Yes.
And it, like, randomized.
And then I got the autumn one.
That's
and
really pretty.
I've been kind of flipping through it as we've been recording. And I will say this is actually a bit deceiving because I will say it's autumn and kind of Halloween related.
Yes.
Because they don't show... Like, I wouldn't say from this image you would get any idea that there would be Halloween themed in there, but there's like
there's
ghosts.
Pumpkins.
But that's it, just pumpkin, right? But I'm talking about like Boo and ghosts and skeletons and
happens
spiders.
in the autumn.
I know that, but I think there's also like there might be a Halloween deck. So I was surprised to go through here and see Halloween theme related ones. And then I also got the Rhinebeck one, and I think this has like 20 cards in it. So those are their kind of like add-on decks. But my thought with this is I was going to...
Can I see this?
Yeah, there was a pattern at Skein, and it was a child's sweater that had just a little color work up at the yoke. And if I'm not mistaken, it was just some hearts. And I thought it would be really cute to do that for Riley for Christmas or her birthday. But then I remembered I have 2 skeins here of my yarn that's a pink that, like, whatchamacallit? A strand broke. So I was going to use them for a sweater or something for the kids. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to use the Strange Brew pattern from Tin Can Knits, which also lets you kind of pick some motifs based on your stitch count for the sweater that you would like to knit. So I'm going to try to incorporate some of these autumn ones using the Strange Brew formula for the sweater for Riley.
I think that's a great idea. So it's cool because the cards will tell you on the top. It looks like, for example, this one is the Autumn Spider. It's a 24 stitch colorwork chart. This one is a 4 stitch colorwork chart. So like as long as these in 6, 12, so as long as you kind of know what stitch count you're doing, you can just kind of like go through and mix and match, which is super exciting.
Yeah. So
that's a cool idea.
Yeah, we saw them, I don't know where, in the place that shall not be named, and we weren't able to make it over to their booth last year. So it was nice to see, and Skein had a really nice selection of these. And I believe she's coming, and she comes out with patterns all the time. And when we were at our knit night, or Thursday, or library one, somebody had finished a cal with using these. So I just thought they were really fun.
How to doodle with yarn. Step 1, choose your charts. Pick your theme or choose several decks to mix and match. Choose your pattern. Each deck includes 2 cowl patterns or use any doodle series pattern. Choose your yarn. Pick a main color and a few accents to create the perfect stash buster, and then start knitting. How fun. There's like little hats, Rhinebeck hats.
Yeah, the Rhinebeck's one
really
are cute.
Cool idea.
And there were a bunch of different ones. There's like a baking themed one, holiday themed one, I think, and Halloween. So yeah, that's what we bought at Skein.
Nice. And I purchased some stitch stoppers in these really cute little peacocks, which I love. I used to love peacocks. They were like my favorite at the zoo and stuff.
And so I think that's it. So now we'll jump into what we've been reading and watching. Okay. Watching's super easy. I have picked up during my Jethro reconstruction. I spent quite a bit of time watching 911, the original one with Angela Bassett. So I am now on season 6 of that. And then we have continued our binge of Supernatural, and we will be finishing season 12 today.
Wow. Good for us, huh?
Yes. And then reading, I am still reading the same book. I am reading Jake's Magical Market, Book 3, Home Sweet Home. And it is just long. I'm about 64% into it. It's like a 1,200 page book. I'm somewhere in the 700s. And I'm ready for it to be over.
Yeah. I know it's hard when they're like, it's good. Like these books, because I'm in the same kind of situation. Like I'm on book 7 of the Throne and Glass series that I'm reading now. And like it started off with like a 24-hour read. And I think I still have like 14 hours left on my Kindle. Granted, I don't read for very long, but it's intimidating.
Yeah, it's a lot. And I will say, I enjoyed the first book quite a bit. The next 2 books in this series have been a bit of a struggle. Sometimes I feel like you can get to a point where there's too much detail and too many like steps to get to a conclusion, and this has a lot of steps. And I was saying to Ray, what's kind of frustrating in a sense about this is I don't even know how much time has passed from page 1 of book 1 until where I am now, because weeks go by in a sentence, and here it's like, oh, I was cultivating for 3 weeks, and you're like, okay, well now how he doesn't even know the time. He doesn't even know like how old he is anymore, because he has no idea of how much time has passed. But it's cool. It's a cool book. It's a cool story. There's just a lot to it.
Yeah. I feel the same way about the Throne of Glass. I love it. It's very, very good. And I'm at the point now where we've totally picked up all of the characters again. A few of them have gotten back together, which is really exciting. So you kind of want to see, everybody's doing the different groups that they're following. They're all kind of doing their own thing. So like, I'm very much anticipating them all getting back together. And I think that's kind of where I'm struggling, I think, with the time, how much I have left, because I know like, okay, I'm looking forward to them all getting together again. And I know that like they're not going to for a long time, so it's just kind of like, okay, let's see what's happening here, let's see what's happening there.
Yeah,
like, just get together again. Like let's knock them all out of the park. You know what I mean? Like get the job done, kill all the bad guys, do your thing, and then but to know that you have to wait. Does that make sense? You know, for like that payoff.
And that's kind of where I'm at with this one. So now I'm getting, kind of towards the end of it.
Yeah.
I have, let's say, 400 pages left. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm in that home stretch of it. But he's not home. And he's still working to get, to home and resolve the issue. And I'm thinking there's 400 pages. And I know that he still has a lot to accomplish in the world that he's in now before he goes back home. So how rushed is that going to feel, the resolution to the conflict?
Right. You don't want it to be too rushed, but you also don't want it to take so long either.
Right.
But again, that's the last of that series, right?
Thank you, Jesus.
And this is the last of this one too. So, in addition to, are you done with talking about Jake?
Yeah, that's literally all I've read for.
I know.
3 years.
Same. And I am listening to book 5 of He Who Fights with Monsters, and each book has gotten exceptionally better and better. I'm really loving where this storyline is going, and I'm so happy that I gave this series a try. I think there's still 6 more books in the series. Book 11 just came out. My friend Jeff has finished them all. He's a monster when it comes to listening to audiobooks. And but I'm just really glad it's not something that I would have considered listening to or reading. It's, it felt very much like a video game, like the guy's in a video game kind of situation, but it's so good. It's really good. It's by Shirtaloon. I don't know who the narrator is. My phone's over on the other side, but
Oh yeah, that's odd.
What?
Oh, your phone's over there.
Yeah.
Because you have your iPad.
I have my iPad here, but I don't have Audible on my iPad.
Oh.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. The narrator's really good. The storyline is really great. I'm loving it.
Very nice.
Are we under an hour and a half?
We are. So I believe
Wow.
that's everything. And now we will start preparing for our trip.
Yeah.
And
I'm hoping that we get some good videos and pictures and stuff. It's very difficult. We really like live in the moment. Like we have a hard time pulling out our cameras and like taking pictures. So we really depend on, if we run into you, like take a picture, tag us.
Well, I'm going to bring a physical camera this time and hope maybe that helps us. But it is true. We really enjoy just the chit chat and the banter and getting to like meet you all that. The last thing we think about is taking a picture.
Right.
Like we even
we will always take a picture.
Yes.
Don't ever feel bad. Some people feel uncomfortable. Like, I'm sorry to ask this, but can I get a picture? Like, of course.
Of course. We just, for us, like to post, we're not great social media posters to begin with. But we really just enjoy the time. So it's not our first thought is to like, oh, let's make sure we grab a picture so we could post it on Instagram.
Right.
Like that's not where our head goes initially. And a really great example is yesterday we hung out with our friend Bob, had breakfast. He was here from Seattle and we wanted to take a picture. Totally forgot.
Totally. Until we were driving home.
We're like, oh crap, we didn't take a picture. And then he sent a message and he's like, oh crap, we forgot to take a picture. And I'm like, yeah, but I think sometimes too, it's a sign that you're having a really good time. That's not your first thought, you know?
Yeah.
But yes, we will definitely, if you want to take a picture, take one with us, tag us with it. I will hopefully remember to bring my real camera and use that. And that might make us get more, this.
All right.
All right. So if you see us at Flock,
say hello.
Say hello. And again, we will be at the Fiber Hustle booth. And I think it's booth 50.
Not sure.
I looked at the map the other day. I'm pretty confident it's 50. And we will be there Saturday.
We're really excited. There's a lot of really great vendors.
We're going to be there next Saturday.
I know.
Next Saturday.
That's less than a week.
We're going to be in Seattle.
I know. And Sunday.
And Sunday.
So a week from today, we will be on, I was going to say on the dance floor. No. On the...
We'll be there as well next Sunday. So we hope that you guys have a great 2 weeks. And we will see you in a fortnight.
Bye.
Bye.